This is my house, and this is me outside my house. Life here is fine. So why am I thinking about doing something odd? Odd is the wrong word. I'm trying not to scare myself. The right word would be scary. Why am I thinking about doing something scary? Something that would risk this. But the one thing I've learned about filming is that when you're scared, just film anyway, because if it turns out all right, you'd be glad you did. And if it doesn't turn out all right, filming's probably the least of your worries. I think they're building an athletics track here. I've lived here years, and now they decide to build one 2 minutes from my house. Great timing. So today, I'm going to ride my bike past every house I've ever lived in. 50 years of home dwelling in one big old loop. We're getting close to my first house now. This out here is where I'd come and play when I was a kid with my brother. Just beyond the trees, it's all houses now. When I was a kid, you could just walk for miles. We'd be out here all day and you just go home when you're hungry. If you showed 1980s 7-year-old me just what's left, I'd have cried. I wouldn't have cried. You cry in 1980 because of a field, you're going to have a tough time at school. So my first 19 years were across the road here. One of the houses over there. Me, my brother, my parents. It was a regular house, but it had a huge garden. I couldn't throw a ball from one end to the other. I could now because they knocked a house down a few years after my parents moved away. They went in and then built on all the gardens. So there is no garden anymore. We used to play rugby on this bit of grass in front of me. All the kids from this side of the road versus all the kids from my side of the road, just playing rugby up and down this main road. Ball bouncing in front of cars, no health and safety, no one got run over. No one from my side of the road got run over, some kids got run over. It's a busy road. So I moved out of home because my girlfriend was pregnant, so I moved in with her parents. And her, obviously, not just her parents, that'd be weird. And it was handy because they lived right around the corner from the little swimming pool that I worked at as a lifeguard. In this beautiful old building that had been there for over 100 years. The sign still says swimming baths, but they've turned it into a block of flats. That's a little hatch we used to pay to go for a swim. There's nothing sacred. Cemetery Junction. It's famous for your Bam Bam Ye Kebabs and Ricky Gervais' 2010 film. And me. Okay, interesting movie trivia. Cemetery Junction, the movie, wasn't always called that. Ricky Gervais wanted to call it Marathon the Prue, but the Prudential Assurance Company told him no. He wanted to call it that because at one point in the 70s and the 80s, everybody in Reading worked for the Prue. My mates did, my girlfriend did. I never did. I tried to work for the Prue to sell life assurance and I failed the psychometric test. How is that possible? Have you seen Wolf of Wall Street? How do you fail to work in that industry.
More convenient than a Tesco Express. Close to Windsor, but the property's less. It keeps the businesses of Britain great. It's got Europe's biggest trading estate. It doesn't matter where you're from. You wanna work, then come along.
So the first house I actually bought is just around the corner. I would have been maybe 21, 22, and I was only able to buy it because a different life insurance company, not the Prudential, did give me a job. Bonus only, no basic salary, and I was rubbish. But that didn't matter because back then you just put no income declared on your mortgage application and they gave you the money anyway. Those were the days. Jumpers for goalposts. So once I got the hang of selling life insurance, I did quite well. Stuck on that Prudential and bought a bigger house. Moved to this one, just behind those trees. And this was cool here. Backed onto these fields. And when I started to get in shape, eventually, I'd come straight out the gate and I'd just run here. Mostly walked, but did some running here. This was cool. Fields, there's a river. Here, about 10 years. 2 dogs, 4 kids, it's good. Didn't want to leave here. But life is complicated. And do you know what else is complicated? Divorce. So I moved into that little block of flats there. Not stopping at that one. When I was at that little place over the road, I was 39 and a mess. I thought life was over. And I'd come here every Saturday morning and do park run. Every Saturday. Didn't always get faster, but I got better here. So once my divorce was sorted, I rented a place just down there. And that was alright, it was bigger. Had my kids, and I was there about a year before I met Jen. It's the first place that we lived together. To be honest, the house was horrible. But right people, anywhere can be okay. And so after that one, 8 years ago now, I moved to where I am now, home, for now. All of the houses I've ever lived at have all been just a couple of minutes away from getting on the M4. And this is pretty quiet. I spent most of my life being able to hear the M4. I hate it.
And the motorway runs by your door, and you know just where you're heading. It's equidistant between London and Reading.
50 years, just over 21 miles around Reading. Might be time for something else. Which is where this all gets a bit scary. Because something else. Will something else be better? What is better? Last year, my fitness got better. I was stronger and faster. I was better. But I ended the year not feeling any better. I know on social media that better normally just means lifting more or running quicker or being bigger, but life is way more complex than that. Imagine I've just watched Top Gun 3 times in a row. Watching Iron Eagle next would be better than watching Top Gun again. It would be close, but it would be better. Iron Eagle isn't better, it's just better for me then. I think when it comes to living in Reading, I might just be ready to watch Iron Eagle. And I can't believe I'm even saying that. Let's go for a walk. If I was 10 years younger, I'd move to a house that was a bit older and a bit more rural, play it safe, and then 10 years later, go for it. Somewhere off-grid, somewhere scary. Do it a step at a time. I don't have time for steps. I'm 50. Do you know how I remember that I'm 50? Apart from a mirror, I sit on the bike in the office. I sit on it in the office, close my eyes, and instantly I'm 19 years old. I'm in the second-hand bike shop. That bike would have been about 5 years old. Top Gun would have been about 3 years old. And I'm telling myself, one day maybe. 35 years it took to get that bike. 35 years. Life is short. I don't have time for one day maybes. I don't have time for anything. So we've been looking at houses that are scary. The drone shots that the estate agent sends, they're epic, but the houses are scary. But then what's scary? People told me that travelling around Africa on my own was scary. But was it really? What's the worst case? Break down, have to wait a couple of days for someone to come and get me? Quit my job for YouTube? Was that scary? What was scary was staying another day in financial services. That would have been horrific. You can't put your butt in the camera, that's just offensive. But this house move, and it going wrong, that is proper scary. I will be old and broke, probably divorced again, in a house with rising damp and bats in a 300-year-old attic. So do I wait? I can't wait. I can't wait because another 35 years will go and I'm not moving to a house with damp and bats at 85. Life is like a theme park. When you're young, it's 9 AM and the place is just opened and you can do what you want. You've got all day. And then before you know it, it's half hour before the place closes and you have to really pick what you're going to do next because you haven't got time for many more rides. And when this place closes, it doesn't reopen. Now, when I make a video, there's normally a message, although I don't always know if it's for me or for an audience. Talking of audience, wouldn't it be cool to make content, fitness content, out in the middle of nowhere, where I can't throw a ball off my land? What's the message? I don't know. Life is short. Do scary things. Do odd things. Take your pick. Yeah, we would like to put an offer in on it. Yep. Yeah, they told us about the bats.